Guys, it's time. This is a book that I honestly didn't think we were gonna get, if ever. So I'm really excited to have it. It does not come out for, like, I'm reading this early. It was available to get on, it went live early on Amazon. I'm getting it early, which is amazing, which means I can film this video in advance and it can be ready to go up on release day, which makes me very happy inside. Plus I get to read my physical copy and mark it up with tabs and shit. And my cat decides she wants to join. Breakable Things by Katie Wismer. It says poetry and prose. This is what the back looks like. This is what the front looks like. If you guys don't know me, I normally wait to get signs. I will be buying this again, signed copy of it. In the course of this video, we're going to be reading it together like I did with my first how I read poems. So we're going to sit here and I'm going to talk about the poems I like, read a few to you. I don't want this to be like a deceiving title or anything like that. We are reading it together, but it is going to be sped up in the parts that I'm not reading out loud, as I won't read every poem to you, as I don't own the rights to do that or anything like that, and I want you to be able to enjoy it. But it's so if you want to read it with me, you can, and I'll tell you, like, there is no page numbers anymore. But I'll tell you kind of where I'm at in the poetry collection and stuff like that. That's kind of like the point of this. All right, I will come back and we'll read it together. I'm very, very excited. I didn't even know it was coming out. It was like a surprise. I'm so excited. All right, it's now like 5 or 6 hours later. We're officially starting down to read Breakable Things, so grab your copy. And like I said, I will be stopping every once in a while to talk about a poem or two, and that's how where this is going to go. We'll see how long the video goes. I don't really personally care. I also have my post-its, so I'll mark them up. For poetry per se, I don't really have any like, ooh, blue is a sad poem, pink is a love poem. You know what I mean? I don't really care. I normally do it by parts. Her series, her books are normally done by part, and so I'll pick like 3 colors for 5 parts, and normally they're going to be based on how much I like them or something along those lines. Who knows? We'll see if it inspires me. But let's get started. We'll grab your copy of Breakable Thing and we'll read the dedication together. For anyone who needs a second chance or a fresh start, even if you don't know what that looks like yet. Oh, I'm so nervous but so excited. And for Benny, how lucky am I have? Aww, I loved you. Aww, that's so sad. Okay. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I love that page. Look at that. That is gorgeous. This is book number 7. Okay, so there are sections. There's 4 sections. The good things, the hard things, the empty things, the things you might need to hear. I do have a feeling this book could make me cry. I'm okay with that. The good things. I love the way this is formatted. I'm obsessed. Oh my god. Let's get started. I'm so nervous. Okay, a little curious to see if they were any poem titles. There are no poem titles. Oh, there are page numbers. Look at that. This is gorgeous. So I can tell you. We're starting on page 3. Oh, if you hear any weird noises, it's my cat. She's sleeping. Seems like that was a beautiful first poem. I really liked is watching my cat sleep and drinking water when I'm thirsty and dancing around to the same song 100 times. It's remembering a time when it was so hard to feel happy, and now it doesn't take much of anything at all. Back forever. Since we've been together. What that means. Oh, poetry for that reason. Talking about page 7, by the way. Things that sickness hasn't taken. I'm not going to read it out loud directly, but like, for instance, today, I'm choosing the color blue. Why? Because I think it looks pretty. Is that a good reason? Judge me for it. I don't care. We are on page 8, by the way. I like rewatching movies I've seen a million times, finding comfort in knowing how it will end, and I can go back to the beginning before characters died, before things change, and it makes me feel like the past isn't lost. That every moment, no matter how distant, is frozen in time, untouched and exact, even if I can't quite find my way back to. Oh God, I miss you bad. This is a short poem. It's on page 13. Are you really happy if there's no one to tell you? Are you really succeeding if there's no one to watch? Are you really living if you have to think that way? That one close a little too close to home. I'm gonna move on. I read your letter. I feel so much growth here, which is so crazy because I felt it in poems as well, but you can definitely see that, like, she's in a different place, and it's gorgeous. And look at your pictures. Oh God, page 22 is a different type of version, which I'm kind of enjoying a lot. Miss you so bad.
It's been so long, I know, but
This is a longer poem. First time around, I was a little scared of reading the longer poems to you. This is a work of art, as you do know, and I don't want to spoil that art. I don't want to do anything that would take away from it, but I like it so much that we're gonna read from pages 23, 25 together. I know we're only in the 20 pages, but we'll figure out if I cut any of these. I could possibly cut a few. It's a fragile kind of hope, delicate. Though we missed our chance the first go around, there's still time now. I wasn't ready for you then. My life needed to shatter so I could piece myself back together. That right there, not that I wasn't ready for you then, but my life needed to shatter so I could piece myself back together. I don't believe in fate or bright timing, and maybe it's hopeless to keep holding on to you, but even after all of our years apart, I've always thought one day we'd work it out. If you let me go a second time, I guess I'll have my answer. You're sitting in the shade on a summer day, a startling laugh and I can't stop crying, lying drunk on the couch, curled by the fire, and I know you'll smile and roll your eyes if you ever read this poem, but you are everything that makes me feel safe after a life spent looking over my shoulder. You're everything that makes sense after years of stumbling in the dark. You didn't come into my life quickly, not the first time I saw you. It must have been weeks, months before we ever even exchanged words. I don't remember the day I learned your name. I don't remember the moment you became important to me. Maybe that's why you sunk in so deep, a little bit at a time, instead of all at once.
I'm finally coming home. Till then I'm dreaming.
Oh my word. Oh guys, oh guys, oh guys. I got a good one for you. It's very interesting. This is not what I expected from this. I don't actually know what I expected from this poetry collection. I have some thoughts. And it's a little bit weird talking. Part of the reason why I do these videos this way is because this is about someone's life. Obviously, these are very personal poems to Kate Wismer, and I do feel like I don't want to infringe or whatever. This one made me really happy. We're on page 27, by the way. It's a hum like fingertips down my spine, the vibrations inviting themselves into my veins. And it's just singing in the shower or bobbing your head to a song when you can hear while you cook breakfast. But also, it's the way I love you taste in my mouth after a glass of wine, as the sun slants through the kitchen window and your socks skid across the polished floor. You're somehow a child so full of glee, it's like you've never been broken by the world. And yet, you are also the only man who looked hell in the face after breaking the lock in my chest, and you didn't even blink.
Your heart, your eyes.
This is gorgeous. Oh my. Do you ever just put random post notes in random spots of the book? Because there's not really anything you're posting. You're just wanting to like significantly like, I like that poem. But you don't want to do it in a way that it looks weird. So it's not like all clumped in the beginning. So it just doesn't flow right. No? Okay. I'm going to read you 32 and 33. How silly I must be to fall in love so easily. How foolish to catch one glimpse and be so certain. How resilient to remain so hopeful despite the many times I've been wrong. How much more beautiful life is the softer I let myself become. Gorgeous. So fucking gorgeous. But then, the 1-2 hit punch, I tell you, how lovely it is to be in love with a person and not an idea. Okay, we're moving on to part 2, the hard things, and I'm nervous.
Darling, I can't wait.
Alright guys, we're on page 42. Looking back on it, I think he loved me. In whatever way he knew how, in spite of everything. I'm so tempted sometimes to see if he could do it better now. Yep. Oh god, no. Oh, I did not need to read that. Oh, I hated it. I love that, but I hated it all at the same time. Okay. You have another one, page 43, guys. Guys, I gotta tell you, this one's painful if you're an artist. Whew. Oh, that was a rough one to read. Do I create art out of the pain, or have I been surrounding myself with pain because I'm afraid the art won't stay without it? Please give me an answer, Katie, because I need to know.
Till I I see your face. Oh God, I miss you bad.
The absence of distractions has brought noise, not quiet questions, not peace. Page 50. That one hurt too much. Page 51. Maybe I've conditioned myself so I can only love things that hurt a little.
The only thing
Do you ever read a poem and be like, I get that, but also like if we would just change one word, it would feel like so much more, and not impactful, because obviously I'm not the writer, so like this was very impactful for them, but like impactful for me as the reader. Like it says, page 56, it's the conflict of liking the world better when I'm drunk by liking myself more when I'm sober. If I would change it to, it's the conflict of liking the world better when I'm high by liking myself more when I'm sober.
need is to be.
Ooh, page 58. Can you still love me after what you've seen? Can you still love me after what you know? Can you still love me even after I hurt you as badly as he hurt me? Yep. That one felt really real as well. In a very similar situation. Not that we're getting personal here. Just like that poem that happened to me like a week ago. I was asking that same exact question. This wasn't in like a loving relationship like with a partner. This is like a friendship relationship where I was like tempted to do something or whatever, and I decided against it because I was too afraid. And it had been a long time since I don't really create new friends very often in my life. You guys did not know this. I'm very selective. I have the people I like. That's about it. And I've had a new friend come into my life who I'm very grateful for. I was a little bit nervous, and it's been a long time since I was a little bit nervous about sharing a lot of my life with someone, because almost everybody knows. Okay, back to reading.
Inside me. Oh God, I miss.
Ooh, those final 3 poems, I'm not going to read them, as I do think they'll make me cry if I read them out loud. That was, ooh, okay. Part 3, the empty things.
You so bad.
Damn, page 69. This goodbye with you feels jagged and sharp, a piece of glass beneath bare feet, but you make it look like watching the sunrise and sipping your morning coffee.
It's been so long.
Page 71 and 72, they kind of go together. The perfect cruelty of wanting the attention of someone with no intention of knowing you anymore. I could scream into the void, put on my best lipstick, twist myself into whatever form I think you'd like, but still wouldn't make a difference. But the difference is, not once does this make me think I am not enough anymore. I was one of those things, I was reading that Pacific one, and it reminded me of This Way is Kind of Poison, specifically. There's a lot of poems in This Way is Kind of Poison that talk about wanting to transform yourself into somebody that they think that they could love. Because obviously, when you're in a very serious, not great relationship, you believe that you are the problem when in reality you're not the problem. It's actually them who are making you feel that way is the problem. I thought to myself, oh no. And to see, once again, the growth here, to see it is, it just makes me happy, you know?
I know, but I'm finally.
You know what? You fucking right. Probably you guys don't understand the context of that. Hold on. Let me read it to you. Page 76. I create a chemical reaction inside perfect strangers just by spilling ink onto paper. How can you possibly tell me I'm not interesting enough to love?
Coming home. Till then, I'm dreaming of your heart, your eyes, our love.
Love this one. 82. Loving an outline of me is not good enough.
Your heart, your eyes, our love.
Yeah, I felt this one. 90. They tell me someday someone will come around and change my mind. as if the only thing I could possibly have to look forward to in my life is a man who would need to change me in order to love me. I've heard that so many times here recently that, like, it's kind of annoying. Like, so many times here recently. By friends, by a few different family members. I have, particularly here in the past 8 months or so, kind of called off love due to, a bunch of personal things or whatever. And I've had many people tell me, "Oh, it's gonna happen one day." Okay, that's cool. I'm happy for you, and maybe it will. I'm not opposed to anything. But like, this is my opinion right now, and like, you don't have to like be like, your opinion's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, don't be a dick about it.
It's been so long, I know, but I'm finally coming home.
Part 4. Things you might need to hear.
Till then I'm dreaming of your heart, your eyes, our love. Your heart, your eyes, our love.
"107. If you're willing to lose me, I will let you. Never again will I beg someone to ask me to stay. If you cannot see the gravity of my absence, it's not my job to warn you. If you cannot see the sunlight in my soul, it's not my job to show you. If you cannot see the promise of what you and I could be, then maybe it was never there at all. How other people failed to love me is not my burden to bear." Page 114. "As long as I continue to seek a home in the hearts of other people, I will continue to be lost." I think I feel that one as well. Something emotionally about wanting to touch someone in a way to help them, like if they're going through a really rough time, and being a creator, even a very small, very, very tiny creator in the scheme of things. I do know I have a few people, especially in my Sims channel, I've got a lot of messages before, and people who I've helped because my videos make them laugh or whatever it might be, or they like my character I've made or whatever it might be. And there's something that brings the happiness of that. It's not forever granted. I guess if you do something like something that would bring someone joy, it's not forever granted. And so like, you can't just bring your whole entire life onto that one thing.
Searching for something that ain't lost. Have we got it?
That is Breakable Things by Katie Wismer. I'm gonna give it a 5. I don't think anybody's shocked by this. There's so much here that is so wonderfully beautiful. I think it's particularly beautiful having seen her grow as a writer, as a person, seeing her understand and, I don't know, just become who she is. I have been watching Katie's channels, Katie's Book States, since right before The Sweetest Kind of Poison came out. I want to say maybe it was like 6 months beforehand, and I've been watching her ever since that book came out in like 2018, which is like 7 years ago. And Sweetest Kind of Poison, I read at a moment in my life where I needed it so dearly, so desperately, that it broke me in like 1,000 pieces. Poems came out in a moment where I didn't need poems, but this past year I had an experience where I was like, oh my god, that book's gonna break me. And it did, and it was everything, and I'm so grateful to have that in my life. And there's something about poems that every time I read it, I think it gets better and better. And I do wonder if Breakable Things will be the same way. There's so much here that I think is so important. I think knowing certain things makes some of these poems feel, one, way too much more personal, but also two, it makes it feel, I don't know, it's like a friend looking at another friend and just smiling. That's how I would describe this book, personally for me, is that there's a lot of moments in here where I just smiled because I was just so happy for her, for the things that are talked about here. And yeah, this was a 5. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you guys did, let me know your guys' favorite poem, what page it's on, things like that. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys all next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.